You have power over your mind, not outside events. Once you realize this, you will find strength. It's a quote from Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. And what he's talking about there is how you respond to things that happen to you. The one thing that you need to guard with your life is your emotional state, because it's from your emotional state where everything stems. Most people in life are up and down constantly based on what happens to them externally. Those people are not really in control of the direction of their life and where they're heading. The only way to dictate the direction that your path takes you is to stay as neutralized as possible. The way to do that is training your brain and training your mind to deal with things in a certain way. Going back to when I was maybe in my early 20s, for example, I might get angry in traffic. I might let that affect my emotional state. If somebody said the wrong thing, or if I was in a queue for too long, or any kind of minor inconvenience happened to me, I might let that affect my emotional state. That would then affect my thoughts. That would then affect my actions, which would then affect my reality. You need to train your mind to deal with external events and not allow them to send you up or send you down. No matter what happens to somebody, there's always positive and negative connotations to that event. Everything that happens to a person is neutral. It's how we perceive that event which makes it a positive or a negative. Now, you can train your mind just like you can train your body. You can't go to the gym and get a six-pack, but you can if you go to the gym for a few years and keep doing the right exercises. The same applies to your mind. If you're in a position where maybe you are young and this is quite a new concept to you, or even if you've understood the concept but been unable to execute it, well then you need to stop being hard on yourself for a start. These events are always going to happen, and don't get me wrong, even the most stoic of men are still going to be affected in some sense by external events. But instead of letting an event, shoot you up here or send you down here, people who have learned to control their mind will only go up to here and here, for example. You're never going to stay completely neutral, of course. In fact, you wouldn't want to be completely neutral. You would find no joy in life at all. But if you're working towards something, where you want to be in life, then you have to first of all neutralize your state of emotions. Once you can do that, you're then in much better position to act in the way that you need to act to create the life that you want to create. Now, how you can train your mind is, first of all, just being aware of how you're reacting. Be a bit more conscious of your actions in certain events. If somebody annoys you and you respond with anger, and that that's not the person that you want to be, then you need to first of all understand what you've done. You have reacted in anger, and look at it from a third person point of view. Do you like the look of that? Most likely not if you're watching this video. So the first thing is just to notice what you're doing. Notice whether it's in line with what you want or if it's not in line with what you want. And then you need to understand that you can quickly look for the positives in any scenario. If you're at the moment where you are being sent high and low, first thing you can do is just take yourself out of that environment so that you have time to think and ponder. But understand that whilst you're thinking and pondering, lots of thoughts will be flowing through your mind constantly. Imagine it like a YouTube algorithm sending you loads of videos on your feed, and you get to choose which ones you select. And if you keep selecting these negative ones which are reinforcing that anger, the algorithm is just going to send more and more of those to you. Instead, when those thoughts come, understand that this is all just a temporary state that you've been brought into through an external event. Let them thoughts come and go. Let them come and go. Focus on where you can find the positives. One huge positive, if you've just found yourself in a moment of anger or distress, is the fact that you're now got the opportunity to fix it for the future. That's a huge positive. In fact, you need these things that happen to you so that you can have these moments. Start focusing on those. Again, just like the algorithm, once you focus on these positive thoughts, it will start reinforcing that, giving you more reinforcing beliefs, and to make sure that you're not giving yourself those non-reinforcing beliefs, so to speak. That's how you train your mind. If you need to use the metaphor of a YouTube algorithm, let your thoughts come and go. Select the ones which you want to keep having. That's how you're going to train your brain over time. Now, don't expect you to watch this video, do it once, and now you're an absolute stoic. And that's not going to work. Understand that it's a process, as if you was going to the gym, training your body. Understand that if you do that time and time again, over time, you will be able to deal with those events in the moment. You won't let anything affect you drastically in the moment. So we'll just end on that quote again. You have power over your mind, not external events. Once you realize this, you will find strength.